NTSB Midair collision. 3 key takeaways. What happens when a critical piece of equipment fails in the sky and no one notices until it's too late? The tragic midair collision near Washington, D.C. in January 2025, where 67 lives were lost, has sparked a firestorm of questions about safety protocols, military-civilian coordination, and the human cost of bureaucratic inertia. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, hearing this week, didn't just reveal technical flaws. It exposed a web of systemic issues that left families shattered and the public demanding answers. Let's break this down, starting with the most alarming takeaway: a faulty altimeter that no one thought to question. The Army's altimeter dilemma, a 78-foot blind spot. Picture this: a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter on a routine training mission is flying just south of the Potomac River. Its crew, unaware of their altitude, is inches from disaster. Meanwhile, a regional jet carrying 60 passengers and 4 crew members is descending toward Reagan National Airport. At 8:48 p.m., the two collide at 278 feet, well above the 200-foot ceiling the Black Hawk was supposed to maintain. How did this happen? The NTSB points to the helicopter's barometric altimeter, which may have displayed an incorrect altitude. But here's where it gets controversial. Army officials admitted that such discrepancies are not unusual. Barometric altimeters, which rely on air pressure to estimate height, can drift by dozens of feet. Radar altimeters, which measure distance from the ground, are more precise, but not always used in military helicopters. During the hearing, Army Chief Warrant Officer Kylene Lewis shrugged off an 80-foot difference as not cause for alarm. NTSB member J. Todd Inman fired back, asking, "How much is that tolerance? I think it should be 0. The Army now plans to update flight manuals to warn pilots about these gaps, but critics argue that's a reactive fix for a preventable problem. Air traffic controllers, overworked and under pressure. Reagan National Airport is a high-stakes chessboard, with planes and helicopters jockeying for space. On the night of the crash, controllers were told to make it work. A phrase that, as former tower manager Clark Allen admitted, means pushing the line of safety. With a national shortage of air traffic controllers, DCA often had one person handling both helicopter and fixed-wing traffic. That night, a single controller juggled both roles, a practice Allen called common. But is common the same as safe? The FAA insists staffing levels were adequate, but the NTSB's Jennifer Homendy slammed the agency for prioritizing efficiency over lives. 67 people are dead. How do you explain that? Our bureaucratic process, she demanded. The FAA's silence, a decade of warnings ignored. Long before the crash, FAA staff had raised alarms about the Army's training routes near the airport. Route 4, a corridor used for continuity of government operations, ran perilously close to commercial flight paths. A working group had even considered shutting it down, but security concerns won out. And this is the part most people miss. The FAA's inaction wasn't just a failure of oversight, it was a calculated risk. Homendy's blistering critique of the agency's bureaucratic process has forced a reckoning. In March, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy banned non-essential helicopter operations near DCA and separated mixed traffic. But will these changes be enough? The bigger picture, who's to blame? This tragedy isn't just about one faulty altimeter or one overworked controller. It's about a system where military needs, civilian safety, and bureaucratic red tape collide. The NTSB's recommendations are clear, but the real question is, will the FAA and the Army finally prioritize people over protocols? Or will this become another footnote in a long list of preventable disasters? We want to hear your thoughts. Is it fair to hold the FAA accountable for a route tied to national security? Or should the military have adapted its training to avoid such risks? Share your take in the comments below.